Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to work on Make's AI agent. We will try to understand what elements build this agent, and above all we will do a little demonstration where we will see how this agent will make decisions and automatically call upon tools when I issue a command. This agent today is one that is capable of making decisions because it is powered by models of artificial intelligence. And above all, in fact, there is a whole configuration that has been done on this agent so that it can be autonomous. So we will try to understand how it works. We will put it in a practical workshop to see the result. And afterwards, we will try to see the flow of information and especially how to create an optimized AI agent so that it is fast, efficient, and above all, autonomous. So just before continuing the training on YouTube, I wanted to introduce myself very quickly for those who don't know me. My name is Firas. I have a PhD in artificial intelligence, and today I am an instructor on the Udemy platform. On this platform, I teach courses in marketing, business, and artificial intelligence. And if you go to the marketing category, you will find that I have several courses here. And I am ranked as the most popular instructor in France in these categories. You will see that I have profiles that contain the badge, Udemy Partner Instructor, and most of my courses also have the badge, Best Seller. Among my accounts on Udemy, I have approximately 120,000 students who have taken my courses here. And of course, we have more than 14,000 positive reviews. Today, I am also a member of the N8N community, where I publish my workflows. These are custom-made workflows for companies, and I share them with you for free for the purpose of learning. To thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel on my website, which you can find the link to here, I have gathered my courses currently available on Udemy, which are best sellers. And you simply have access directly to benefit from these courses. This is a token of my appreciation for your loyalty. Use this coupon to access these courses. I thank you very much and wish you a great learning experience. So very well. Here, it's a bit, in fact, the presentation that was proposed by Make on the AI agent. So you will see that here we have 5 elements. So an AI agent, first of all, needs what we call an instruction. What does an instruction mean? It means its general prompt or the most important prompt that will define the agent. Then, once we have defined it, we can add other prompts that will be the context of the work. If I come, for example, here on Make, you will see that here on the left there is a whole new button where there is what we call an AI agent. If I open here, there I have 2 agents that are active, which I just created, but I can of course click here to create a new agent. As soon as I create a new agent, you will see that there I have the possibility to give an official prompt or a general one or the basic prompt that of my agent. Why did Make think to include this? Because the advantage today with the AI agent on Make is that all this agent and all this configuration, I can reuse it in other scenarios. So when I create an agent, it's not like other tools. Like N8N, the agent is specific to the current workflow or scenario. Today, with Make, I can simply call upon the same workflow whenever I want. That means here I have two agents. If I click here to open and create a new scenario, you will see that I can call upon everything. This agent exists in my Make. And to call upon the agent, you simply need to write Make agent in a new module here. And you will find that Make recently offers this agent with this icon. As soon as I select it, I run it, that's my agent, and in the configuration, I click here, so that I can select one of these agents that already exist. That's why. When I take an agent, for example, if I take this one, it will bring with it all the tools that have been, here are the tools that have actually been connected to this agent. So if I go back to the base path here, you will see that the agent, it has its own print. It has the tools that are connected to this agent. And of course, I can add other prints as I can add others, so all point specific to the scenarios in question. So consequently, here, if I go back, I can add other tools. So these are tools that I will add here, which will only be valid and will only work in this current scenario. This means that this agent, if I call this agent in another scenario, it will not find these tools, of course, because it will only find the base tools that we predefined from the start. And you will see that here on the message side, it's all, simply put, it's a space where I can add other elements that will further refine the work in this scenario. And so that's why here in the path, I actually have the possibility to add other skills, other competencies. And somewhere, these are the elements that I will place and add, in fact, inside the system in a specific way. So here, the new context and the new skills, these two elements are specific to the scenarios in question. So today, the tools, what exactly are these tools? But in reality, the tools that are connected to an agent are simply the different scenarios that I have in my system. So if I open the scenarios here, you will see that, for example, I have several scenarios, all these scenarios. In fact, I can have them launched with my agent. There's just one condition that when I enter a scenario, I take an example like this one, there is always a trigger. The trigger must not be, for example, one that activates every minute or every hour. It must necessarily be on demand, meaning under request. If the agent ever calls it, he can simply find it here. And that's a bit of the novelty, or rather the obligation that I cannot set it on a regular interval or every day or every month. No, it must be on demand so that it can operate. And in addition to that, it must necessarily be in an active format, because if it is not active, it cannot be launched. So, for that actually, to have the possibility, of course, to activate multiple scenarios, you know that the free version does not allow that. And to activate more than 5 scenarios at the same time. And in addition to that, this option, which is the agent's option, this agent here is an agent. An artificial intelligence agent, where I can create multiple agents in an unlimited manner. And to have it, of course, you needed to have the Pro account. To get that Pro account, I have, of course, provided you in the comments the link to get direct access to the Make agent, which gives you the possibility to simply have the AI agent here as an added option in your Make account. So you just need to create an account with the link that is just below in the description. Okay, so now we have understood and actually seen the operating mechanism. All right, now I'm going to show you a little bit how we set up a system, that system. In fact, it will call upon this agent, and we will see a little bit how the information will circulate. So here, in fact, my agent will simply receive information from Telegram. It can receive 2 types of information, either a voice message. So in this case, with the haze, in fact, we will convert it into text and then send it here as a variable. And afterwards, the Jambet will process it. Or if it's simply a text. So we will retrieve the text and then execute it and send me back the response. And this agent, there will be, let's say, if I go into the configuration of my agent, there will be 3 basic tools. It can search, rather create an event, search for information in a calendar, or even update information in my calendar. And there, too, I have given this agent the ability, it has the ability to send an email, of course, to one of my contacts in my calendar as well. So you will see that here. So each of these functions is somehow presented as if it were a separate scenario. As you can see here, I have the different scenarios. And even here, I have the email sending scenario. So, these scenarios, of course, the agent has control over these scenarios. So here, as soon as I send back information, it will simply process and send it. Well, here, what I'm going to do is simply trigger my scenario. So here, in fact, I set it to manual. Of course, I can set it to automatic once it's done. I can even set it to active mode. But for testing here, I'm going to tell it, go ahead, work once. So here it is on standby. It is waiting for me to send a message, either text or voice on Telegram. I open my Telegram. So here in my Telegram, I'm going to send it a little voice message. So here, I'm going to tell it, hello, I want you to send me the list of all my appointments for tomorrow. There you go. It understood that it's a voice message, so it's translating it into text. And now it has called my agent. So the agent must know the scenario in question on its own, which is capable of selecting and updating the calendar. And now it just sent me back the list of my appointments. So for today, it told me that you have just one appointment with the architect. And there you go. It gives me the details. And so if I come back here, in my agenda, I go back just one day, and there you go. Indeed, I have only one appointment. If I ask it, but actually for tomorrow's appointments, then normally it should send me those 3 appointments. So we'll try to do it. So as usual, I'll put it on hold, and now I'll ask for tomorrow. Hello, I want you to send me the list of my appointments for tomorrow. There you go. So the same thing. It understood that it's voice, and here it's checking. So it understands today, tomorrow, then. As a result, it has all the information, the necessary variables, and so it just sent me back that I have a conference, an appointment with the architect, and a meeting with my team, which is exactly what's here. So, other functionalities actually, it has the ability, as I explained to you, to know what the T is necessary to perform such and such action. I will ask it. Actually, here I'm writing just a test account on a test email address. Here I have set up an agent called a contact named Jacques. I have put an email address here, a phone number, so it's just for testing. So here I will ask it to actually send an email to this person to talk to them. There you go, regarding a specific piece of information, a data point. And here I am going to set it up like this a little bit. We will put it on hold. I call upon my Telegram. So what are we going to ask it? We are going to ask it to send an email to Jacques. So for me, it must be able to know who it is. Jacques, his phone number, his email. If I am going to send him a message, I can tell him via SMS or email. I need to define. Afterwards, we will ask it to write him an email to say that, come on, that I need him for. To go develop new software. Assuming that Jacques is a developer. Okay, so now I will send it to him. Hello, I want you to send an email to Jack to tell him that I need him to come see me at the office tomorrow, because we need to start developing new software. So here, the same thing, the voice, he is translating it into text, and afterwards that agent understood it, he looked for Jack, so it's done already there. Normally the message should be sent to Jack. So what I'm going to do is go back to my inbox. Email, this is the test email inbox. I'm going to go to the sent message here. And I need to find there, so there, then. Not yet. I need to refresh again. It will be resent. There, this is the 3rd line. There, he sent this to the test email. He says to him, hello Jacques, I hope you are doing well. I wanted to let you know that I need you to come see me at the office tomorrow, because we need to start developing new software. Thank you and see you soon. There you go. So that, of course, I can improve everything that is signature, all the basic information, what we call the rules. Because here, in relation to this system, if I click here on my agent, you will see that there is a whole list of rules and information that are adapted so that I can improve the system more and more. The same thing, if I tell it, come on, let's run another test. Now I'm going to ask it to create a new event. Hello. I want you to create a new event for next Tuesday, dia 9/5, to have a meeting with my team to discuss our new web development project. There you go. This is a request, and we will see if it will be able to detect which Tuesday. If I say next Tuesday, it should normally know the exact date. So if I want to go back here in my calendar, and there you go, indeed, meeting with the team. And look here, at the level of the details, it actually put the subject. So there you go. It has been, well, I didn't define the time though. So it set it to 11 o'clock. But I should define the time. So we will try to ask it to modify it. Okay. So we will try to see. So to modify already, it will use another update scenario. It's not the same scenario. So we will try to set it like this. And we will I want you to update the event for next Tuesday, which will be the meeting or the appointment with my team. Instead of 11 o'clock, I want you to move it and set it to 3 p.m. So here we are sending information. It is processing. So really it must detect the event. It must move it. We will see if it will move it or if it will duplicate it. Because later in the plans, it was really necessary to be much more precise in the setup. Update. Indeed, it worked out well. Worked. Maybe there, instead of 3 p.m., it said 4 p.m. because I think it didn't respect GMT +1. So you have to tell it everything depends on your schedule, what type of country or bouton, what type of appointment it is programmed for. These are details to include in the print to make it truly suitable to your agenda and your time zone. So there we conducted 3 or 4 tests to see how this agent, in fact, it is capable of calling upon the different sessions and different scenarios separately. To conclude with a very important new feature, which we call variables. The variables, of course, in the main path have been explained here. This is somewhere when I enter, for example, into a scenario. So I'll take an example like this. Each scenario, when the agent calls it, when it enters here, generally in the first module, it must fill in variables. For example, here, it must fill in the dates for appointments. And those variables, I must define them first here. In this part, this is a new section where I will put the input variables and there the output variables. This means that when it finishes, what are the variables that the agent must retrieve with data and information? So generally the input variables are those that will be filled by the AI agent. It is responsible for understanding my plan, my request, and thus it has this, let's say, capability, this intelligence to know what it should put in there. For the scenario to work, and also at the end, I can retrieve variables so that the agent, these are variables, that's what we call them. Global variables, it's a variable that can be reused in other scenarios. So here it has this possibility to create input variables and output variables. So generally here you will see that we have the input variable and the output variables, which are very interesting. And this is also a new feature that was launched with their agent EI. And so this is a brief presentation. In fact, here is the entire system that has been created. But especially with the agent, I think there will be a lot of future potential with this agent. Don't forget that today it's a beta version, so I think there will be a lot of other improvements to make in order to have a truly powerful agent. So if you actually want to go a bit further, and to learn, of course, the creation of everything related to bots and artificial intelligence, with therefore, but even with other tools that M8NN. So I have set up an entire package available on my website. drfires.vp here. I have actually provided 100 hours of training. There will be a lot of automation in our codes that are made with N8N and with Make. So really there will be a lot of training and courses specifically for that. It will help you, of course, to go from beginner to expert mode. It's guaranteed for 14 days and you have a promotional code here, YT20. You will simply enter it here and it will give you a special discount. Once you create the account, you will have direct access to your back office. So of course, it's a back office that allows you to access all my courses and each of these courses. There, if I take, then we will look for the Make course. When you enter a course, you will obviously find there will be videos on the left and there will also be the course materials. Here to download with, of course, the workflows. And if I click, for example, on any module, you will obviously find the programming. You just need to click play to follow the course with me. In full, thank you very much and see you soon.